podcast, the Morning Talk Show. I'm your host, Nicholas Gagner. Thank you for joining me today here on May 7th, 2024. Beautiful day outside, at least in Massachusetts. But if it's always a beautiful day, if you are above ground, living and breathing, I want to share with you today my thoughts on what are you doing right now? Why are you waiting? Why are we waiting? Why are we taught to wait till we retire to enjoy our life, to go travel, to go do all the things we want to do, like killing our bucket list when we're older and we don't have all that, that same energy we had when we're younger? Why are we taught to be, in essence, worker ants through all our life, right? So by the time we do get to that age, and by the time we do have that free time to go enjoy our life when we retire, we just don't have the same amount of energy that is, you know, necessary, required to do all the great things. Sometimes travel to great distances. We can't really get as much as we want out of our life at that particular time, right? Because we just don't have the energy for some reason, right? And at that time, we don't know how many years or sunsets and sunrises we have left at that particular time as well, right? So why are we waiting? Why are we waiting until we retire to go do, to go visit Europe, to go travel to Egypt, to go travel South America, to go visit Japan, Asia, Australia, wherever the hell it is, right? We always hear, at least I have growing up, like, oh, I'll do this when I retire. I want to travel here when I retire. Or when I retire, I can finally enjoy my life. I think that's almost backwards, right? I figure if we can travel when we're younger, if we can travel, when we have that energy, when we are in our youth, we can really reap the benefits of being younger, of learning and gaining new experiences while we, have the rest of our lives ahead of us. So if for example, I was lucky enough, I say lucky enough, but in all actuality, it was my choice to go travel to Europe when I was 20 years old, and backpack across Europe and visit. I don't know what it was, maybe 10 not or 11 countries throughout that time for 3.5 months. But I made that choice. Me and my friend decided to travel over a course of one summer, and it was life changing for me. It opened my eyes to different cultures, you know, to seeing the beautiful sights, the historical, you know, museums, churches, visiting the Adriatic coast, the Mediterranean coast, right? Um, Going to Amsterdam and getting high, just going to see the Eiffel Tower, just my Spanish was awful. I didn't speak any other language, right? So I was a typical dumb American at that time. But we were just young, having fun, partying, but still enjoying life and being able to see, some of the great places that this earth has, right? And it just changed how I view life, because I realized, you know what, I want to travel more. I want to live in a different country, So without that particular um, choice, without that choice of saying, I want to get out of New England, I want to get out of Massachusetts, I want to live a little, I want to enjoy life. Um, Definitely just changed the trajectory of where I was going throughout my life and how I viewed um, this world and how I viewed my life should be. So at that young age, visiting all those places and gaining those life experiences, it changed me forever. And I was able to do that at a young age, you know. Um, Not everyone has, maybe not everyone has the ability or financial backing to do those particular things at the moment. However, you don't have to take a 3.5 month trip somewhere if you can't, right? Um, Especially, if you're later in your life, it's hard to do. Um, but you can still go places that can change you, right? You can still travel to certain places that can change you forever. you know. Um, so when I hear people, or I view how society looks at, um, basically teaches the West of how you should, go to school, go to college, get married, get a house, have children, work until you're another 30 years, retire, and then maybe you can enjoy your life. So that just didn't jive with me. Um, and sometimes you don't have to live by society's rules. We have they have those rules in place, and they teach you how you should, obviously live and act, and what you should believe. And sometimes you have to go against the grain and live your life how you choose. And it does take a little bit of courage to do it, because everyone else is going by the rules. Everyone else is doing the things they're taught. And sometimes that you have to just break the mold and trailblaze your own path. And waiting until you retire to do certain things, visit certain places, and how you view you're going to enjoy your life and everything's be different at that particular time, it might not work out. I've heard many stories of people saying, um, when I retire, I'm going to do this. But when they get to retirement, they might only live a year or two by the time they retire. Because when you reach that age, you don't know how you are really. I mean, obviously, nothing's guaranteed now. But when you get to the retirement age, you're on the back nine, right? You're in the back end of your life, so you really don't know how much time you have, and to actually wait on that period of your life to actually go out and enjoy certain things and say you're going to do things differently. It's just not the same. So if you have this opportunity in life right now, if you're listening right now, please try to make some choices and decisions where you can enjoy certain things in your life now, as opposed to when you are retired. Because you know you're gonna it's gonna help you. It's gonna be very, very beneficial to you to do certain things now, so you can gain the most out of those life experiences. Because in the end, what is life, right? It's just a bunch of life experiences for each and every one of us, and we hope we can have the best ones, and we can maximize this life as much as possible. And I know, you know, it's not always easy. Every person's situation is not the same, but it does come down to a choice. It comes down to what you want out of this life. So if you're thinking about, when I retire, I'm going to do this. When I retire, I'm going to do that. Let's try to turn it around. Let's try to turn it around. So if, you know, it's good to plan ahead, but it's very, very difficult to plan ahead. Plan 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, 40 years down the line. You just don't know what's coming. You don't know what's guaranteed. Hell, we the West, we think we're gonna have Social Security. When I retire, I think, am I gonna have a Social Security? I don't know. What's the U.S. dollar gonna be worth at that particular time? I don't know. What's the country going to? What kind of shape is the country going to be in at that particular time? I don't know. So we we were, we believe certain things are gonna be a certain way when we get there, but we don't know. But we know we have this moment. We know we have this particular time in our life where we can do things a certain way. We can make certain choices now to get to where we want to be. And it really comes down to us. It comes down to us. So please don't look into the future and say, when I retire, I'm going to do this. When I retire, I'm going to do that. I'm going to rent the Winnebago. I want to travel across the United States and visit all the states. I'm going to go visit all the national parks. I'm going to take this epic road trip. I'm going to, you know, go to Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, wherever it is. And maybe you will. And maybe you can. But you don't want to depend on 20, 30, 40 years from now. You don't want to depend on that, because life will smack you across the face and nothing is guaranteed. And like I said, why wait until then? Why wait until then, right? You know, if I decide to say I'm gonna go visit Europe when I retire, I still could, but if I hadn't gone when I was 20 years old, what kind of experience would I have when I was 65, 70 years old? Well, what kind of experience would it be? You know, it would be completely different. It would be completely different experience. I'd be I'd be a lot slower, right? Be a lot slower. I'd be worried about, you know, things that you probably shouldn't have to worry about. I'd half the day I'd be sleeping in. I'd be so tired. I'd be in a golf cart. Who fucking knows, right? So like to do something like that when I was 20, I had all the energy in the world, and then it changed the rest of my life because I had a taste. I had a taste of what life could be, of um, how the world was just different from wherever I know. Like I had no idea. Every single day was new. All these cultures and places, and people, like everything was just brand new. And there's something about having every single day um, be completely different, be completely brand new, where it's just an eye-opening experience. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I want you to have those experiences too because it'll shape you. It'll shape your life forever. So don't wait until retirement to do great things, to travel to awesome places, to try to do certain things in a particular time in your life because you just don't know. You just don't know. So I implore you to go out today and start thinking about what you can do. Start thinking about. I don't want to say I don't like the bucket term list. I like the live list, right? To go out to do certain things that you want to do, and you want to get out of this life while you can, because if you can do certain things now, or relatively in the short term in the future, um, you can gain from those experiences. You can carry those experiences with you instead of looking forward, looking out, and say, "Oh, I want to do this then," because you don't know what shape you're going to be in. You don't know what kind of financial situation you're going to be in. You don't know what geopolitical situation is going to be in Europe and Africa and Asia. We don't know what life on this earth will be 20, 30, 40 years from now, right? So if you have the opportunity now um, to do great things, go out there and do it. If you have opportunities now to go travel the world, go do it, even if it's just for a couple of weeks. You know, take that road trip this summer with your family. You know, do something different. Try something new, right? Get Go somewhere where you've never been. You know, it's a great feeling. I promise you that. So thank you for joining me today. Please don't wait until you're retired to go visit that place you've always wanted to visit. Right? Start making, start sacrificing a little bit here or there. Start saving up some money and try to get there as fast as you can. Thank you for joining me today. You can always catch me live here on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. Hopefully, I get to see you soon. Have a great day.